Let's talk about Arsenal versus Coventry that happened to be played. Arsenal versus Coventry anyway, 3-0. And there are a lot of things to be taken from that game. And there are a lot of things that needs to be withdrawn from that game. Anyway, if you're in the comment section, I would be checking the messages, then I will be attending to the live chat. Right? I'll be attending to the live chat. I just want to get my setup ready here so that I can follow up. So, what we're going to be discussing is going to be purely the game between Arsenal and what's it called now? Coventry that ended 3-0. There are a lot of things to be picked from that match. Um, I'm going to start with Zolis. I don't know wherever Club Brugge or where Arsenal got that boy from. Arsenal asked questions to answer because how can he just come from Belgium and just walk straight into the Premier League and then play in the Premier League as if he's been there for so long? Let me just connect this. Zolis happened to be somebody that I thought he was going to struggle, when you get a new player from a different league. I think he's 23 years old or thereabout. I thought he was going to struggle and struggle, but then Zolis decided to shock everybody. For me, I know that Odegaard is a big game player, but for me, I'll say Zolis is my man of the match. The first two goals came through him. The first two goals came through him, and even though he didn't get an assist directly, but you could see when he got the ball, squared the ball to when he passed the ball to Caliafori, and then Caliafori decided to square the ball to Havertz, and then the other one where he squared the ball into the box. Then the goalkeeper had to, push it into the path of Bukayo Saka, and then Bukayo Saka had to slot it home. Sorry, guys, I just want to connect the other screen so I can monitor comments. Let me see if anybody has dropped comments so I can react to it. There's no comment yet. If you are watching, if you are joining this live stream, drop a comment and then we can interact together. We can chat together. I just want to make sure that this volume is not interfering with other things. Yeah. So there we go. So when you look at Zolis from Club Brugge, I think Arsenal has recruited solidly. Arsenal has really, really done well with their recruitment. And let's look at Raya. Raya is one goalkeeper. Let's start from the back. So let's skip Zolis now. Let's start from the back. I want to analyze the whole Arsenal team, and then we'll go to Coventry, and then we'll wrap it up. Raya looks like a goalkeeper that is very, very selfish. Selfish in the sense that he doesn't want anybody to score against him. He wants to farm another Premier League Golden Glove, and it has started right from the game week one. We can see how he commanded the box. You can see his positional play and everything. Then let's go to the right back, Ben White. A lot of Arsenal fans actually don't rate Ben White because I've had conversations with a few, especially when I'm making my street content. When I ask their opinion about Ben White, they really prefer Timber, and I understand that everybody has their favorite right back. But then, why do you not like a player who does the job effortlessly? Why do you want somebody who? Why do you like sophisticated things? Why do you like sophisticated players? Ben White has always been stepping up and filling the gap effectively whenever Julian Timber is not around. You could see how he played tonight. He played well. His defensive role, he did well. His attacking role, he did well. His passes into the box, his crosses into the box, he did well as well. I'm just trying to check if there is any comment. And he got an assist. Most importantly, he got an assist. So, I mean, probably Rhys James would not have done better than that for Chelsea anyway. So, why don't you like Ben White? He did the job. And on days where he needs to come and cover as a center half, is there as well. So let's go to the Gabriel. Let's go to the two center backs. Let's go to Gabriel and Mosquera. Two of them look pretty solid. Anyway, Coventry were not really that threatening except a few times. And one of those moments, Gabriel actually picked up a yellow card, and I was very shocked because within a flick of a second, Sims, or what's his name, had beaten Gabriel, and Gabriel had to pull him down and then to stop the attack, and then he got a yellow. The other time, somebody else would have, was it Awoni? He would have beaten Mosquera. He had to like use his body, put his body in between the ball and Awoni, and then the foul was given, but there was no card awarded. So if you look at Mosquera and Gabriel, they were solid. I know this is not high stake games, but we've watched Mosquera many times, which he came through as well. Now let's go to this Italian mafia called Riccardo. Okay, you want me to talk about Zolis? Okay, I'll talk about it. Let me just finish talking about Riccardo Caliafori, right? Calaveria, this Italian mafia, and the way he plays, the way he moves, his attacking prowess, his presence in the box, especially playing in the pocket, my goodness. He only needs to stay fit until the end of the season, and we are going to have a big problem in our hands in the Premier League. So let me quickly attend to the comment. Zolis is actually Zolis, but the T is silent, right? So instead of Tizolis, so it's just Zolis. So you start with the Z. So you just pretend as if the T does not exist. He's a left winger signed from Club Brugge. And if I say he's an upgrade of Gabriel Martinelli, I might not be wrong, but it's too early to conclude. But he offers a different kind of game. He's not Martinelli wants to run all the time. Zolis wants to take you on. So it's like a more productive Madueke on the left side of the pitch. Gabriel Martinelli likes to exploit the space. He likes to run, but Zolis likes he can play in tight spaces, in tight settings, if that makes sense. So he's a very good dribbler. He's got quick feet. His balls, his touches, even his ball striking is awesome. So yeah, so that's how I see Zolis, and that's how I understand his game. And hopefully, Arsenal will enjoy him for a longer time. Hope that makes sense about Zolis. So I've talked about Raya and the back four. Now let's talk about the midfield of Declan Rice. The midfield of Declan Rice and what's this guy? Miles Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is 19 and he looks pretty solid. He looks fantastic. And he played well today. The way he was really progressive with his passes. He was progressive with his passes. Even when Zubimendi came, Zubimendi was doing much of back passes to keep the possession, which I understand. That's now we're winning 3-0. They needed to retain possession. But even when they had not secured the game, Lewis Kelly was still being progressive with his passes and his line breaking. The way he's moving, I'm really worried, or let me say I'm jealous because the way he wins the ball, the way he passes, and it seems he's really getting on well with Zolis because a lot of balls was going through Zolis, and then when there is a break on the counter, without wasting time, he sends the ball back, and then Arsenal is already up pitch again, trying to penetrate into the box. So Lewis Kelly had a decent game. Rice played normal, he played well because he has raised the bar so high. So I would not call that an outstanding performance from Declan Rice. So that was Declan Rice's performance really looked like a normal match day performance to me. Anyway, then let's talk about Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka's performance is not bad, but that's just one of those normal performances from Bukayo Saka. He got a goal. It's a tapping, but then a goal is a goal. Whether it's tapping or it's not tapping or whatever it is, a goal is a goal. It is the rival fans that know open play goal, goals from set piece, goal from tapping, goals from penalty. A goal is a goal. If Bukayo Saka was not in the right place at the right time, he won't get that tapping. And I've talked about Zoli, so I won't talk about him. Let's talk about Martin Odegaard, a proper 10, a proper attacking midfielder. Again, he put up another man of the match performance the way he did in the Community Shield. And Odegaard is so much on fire that he's been in that form even since the World Cup. I would say that the World Cup really added to his momentum because he has picked that form since World Cup and there is no stopping back, no looking back. And it was spot on today, and then he got his goal as well. Kai Havertz, clutch player. Somebody even posted something online. The person said if you're going into a final and you have to pick Erling Haaland or you have to pick Kai Havertz, who will you go with? I'll go with Kai Havertz. Forget the goal stats. Now this is high stake games, a final, and I need to go in with a striker. I'll go with Havertz because he has done it over and over and over, and we know that he's a clutch player. So Kai Havertz also got his goal as well. Now let's talk about the substitute. We know that Arsenal is really packed, jam-packed with squad depth, massive squad depth. At that time of the games, Zubimendi still coming on. Eze still coming on. Merino still coming on. Merino is another player to be worried about when he's fit. Merino coming on. Obviously, Madueke will always come on for Bukayo Saka. And a lot of players like that. The quality on the bench is even enough to win the game 3-0 if the game were to restart from 0-0 at halftime. But I think I have a bit of issue with Eberechi Eze. Why does he play as if he's so complacent and then he loses possession? I don't know, maybe he wants to play a slow tempo game. I don't understand, but if you watch the game and you've been watching Eze, you would understand what I'm saying. This is not to bring Eze down. It's just, I don't want to say criticism. It's just an observation of what I observed. He did quite a few things right, but then a few things also went wrong. And he kept losing possession. Zubimendi came on and then he was just making back passes. But I understand that Ateta and Arsenal wants to recycle the ball. They want to keep those players fresh. Everybody is good. Victor Gyökeres did not come on, even though I found a rumor somewhere that he wants to go to backup, but I can't even verify this, so I can't even make any video about that. So that's what Zubimendi. Zubimendi was a bit. But these guys will pick form later on. It's just the first game of the season. Come on. It's just the first game of the season. Now, I know I've been speaking about Arsenal since. Let's talk about the other side of the game. Let's talk about Coventry, a club that has not been in the Premier League since 2014. You would not expect them to come, hit the ground and running. Even though they scored a lot of goals in the Championship last season that got them promoted to the Premier League, but the difference in quality is massive. The difference in quality in Championship and in Premier League, the difference is massive. So it's expected that they turn up against the title winning, the defending champion, Arsenal. And considering 3 goals is not bad. It's not a bad idea if you ask me. It's not a bad idea at all because they played well, but what do you expect at Emirates Stadium? Even big teams struggle at Emirates Stadium. So I am seeing some prospects in, what do I call it now? Coventry. I can see some prospect, but then before they settle, it could take time. Hopefully, it's not when they now settle, they now begin to worry clubs like Chelsea. They now become a problem to other big teams. Because I want to think that Lampard has played in the Premier League. He has managed Chelsea twice in the Premier League. He knows the dynamics of the Premier League. He knows the peak seasons. He knows what to do and what not to do, even though the difference in the quality of players will be different. So I still think that Coventry should be okay going forward. It's just the first game of the season. And now let me be biased. Arsenal is very lucky to play Coventry early. because these things happen in football. You quickly play the weak teams and then use them to score your cheap 3 points before they later pick up, before they become another Sunderland, and everybody that goes to their stadium then they get smacked in the face, right? So I would say that Coventry would be okay along the line. If you're joining this live stream, I'm just having a post-match chat about Arsenal 3, Coventry 0. So feel free to drop your comment in the comment section, then I would read it and I would address it, and then we can have an interaction together. Let me just know how you saw the match, your views, your opinion. If you're just joining, I've said a lot of things about Arsenal first 11. I've analyzed them, I've analyzed their bench, I've given accolades to Zolis. Believe me, if you're watching right now, because I can see new people joining, I've given enough accolades to Zolis. He's a brilliant player, he's an amazing player, he's a player that Arsenal would enjoy for a very long time. He made himself really comfortable on the ball. He has shown that he can adapt real quick to the Premier League. I'm repeating this for the sake of people just joining, in case you think, how come he's talking about everything about the match and he's not talking about Zolis? So, Arsenal fans, hopefully you are happy about that. I'm just trying to check the comment. So yeah, it's the first game of the season. A beautiful 3 points, a beautiful clean sheet, a beautiful 3 goals. Everything you can take from the match, just take it, man. You guys deserve it. You see, we will still cook agenda, but Arsenal Coventry first game of the season, there is nothing to cook other than to enjoy the game. You know when the agenda will start when everybody has played 5, 6 games. Now there's win, draw, lose, goals for, goals difference, and then the title race is beginning to take shape. That is when the real agenda starts. We can't start agenda from match day one, Arsenal against Coventry. If it was Arsenal versus maybe Aston Villa, it could have been a different issue. Don't forget, the third game of the season is going to be Arsenal and Chelsea, and it's going to be a wonder because Chelsea has been looking for revenge for a very long time. For a very long time, and me as a Chelsea fan, I am hopeful because the last Premier League manager for Chelsea that beat Arsenal in the Premier League was Thomas Tuchel. Probably 2021. It's been a long time. So we've waited so long for this. But let's leave that till then because when that time comes, we'll make video about that. But let's just keep the context of this video to Arsenal Coventry. And if you are still joining, I can see new people joining. Just leave a comment with me in the comment section and I am going to address it and talk about it. If you're watching, we're just having a chat about Arsenal versus Coventry. I've talked about Raya's performance, about Ben White's performance. I've talked about Raya's performance, Ben White performance. I've talked about Mosquera performance. I've talked about Gabriel Magalhaes performance. I've talked about Riccardo Caliafuri, the Italian mafia. I've talked about that. I've talked about Odegaard. I've talked about Miles Lewis Kelly. I've talked about Declan Rice. I've talked about Bukayo Saka. I've talked about Zolis. I've talked about Kai Havertz. So pretty much I've spoken well about the starting 11. So if you're just joining, if there's anything you want to know or you want me to talk about concerning the match, I'm more than happy to talk about it. If you're watching, I would appreciate your comments because it helps us to build the interaction we want to have. Because at the end of the football chat, post-match analysis, post-match thoughts, and everything is all about feedback, interaction, and all of that. I can see people popping in and popping out, popping in and popping out, popping in and popping out. You're probably wondering if it's one Premier League legend that is doing punditry. I'm just having a chat with my new audience that we are trying to build together with our new community that we are trying to build together. So if you ask me, I watched the match bit by bit from the beginning all the way to the very end. Even at halftime, I was actually saving notes on my notepad about some things that I don't want to forget about those moments. But unfortunately, the notepad is not here. I'm charging the phone somewhere else. So it's basically talking about the match. So Arsenal got their 3 points on top of the table. 3 points, 3 goals difference, no goal considered, clean sheet for Raya. Arsenal is flying. I mean, this is how you start a season on a high note. You don't start a season being wobbly and then hoping for a miracle. You start well and keep the momentum. Starting well is also important, and then keep the momentum. It's games like this that gives the fans confidence, like top-notch confidence. Top-notch confidence. I need to wet my throat a bit, sorry. So Arsenal fans are full of confidence. Like I said, as I was making this video, I'm seeing notifications of different group chats, and from what is popping up, I can tell that Arsenal fans are just having fun. Somebody texted me, said 3 points big, you should be worried. You know, I'm worried truly. I'm really, really worried. I'm worried. Arsenal is it's a difficult pill to swallow. Arsenal is a very strong team because before going to play Arsenal is like we just want to go and play. Is it not Arsenal? But now you want to go and play Arsenal and you are even sad because you know that the chances that you come out with a draw is very hard. Sometimes you have to hope for miracle to defeat Arsenal. So that is how Arsenal has become. So for rival fans, it's not something that we are really pleased with. But for some of us that make football content, we would try to leave our bias behind at some point and then just talk things as they are. So we've gone 22 minutes into this live stream, and I've still got some amazing people online, even though they are not texting. You guys don't want to interact with me, right? Well, I will just continue because I love football. I love to talk about football. I want to talk about Ateta. Ateta is a very strong man. His mentality. People said they learned it from Pep Guardiola. I can't doubt it because we've seen Guardiola's documentary, and then we've seen some traits in Arteta, and we can now connect the dots that no, come on, man. There is a relationship, there is a linkage, there is a link because the way Ateta set up his team, his mentality, the way he focuses, the way his players behave, the way they conduct themselves, even their discipline. You know what? Arsenal don't even commit foul anymore. I don't even know. You would think that they've paid the referee or something. They rarely commit fouls. They rarely get cards. They don't pick up unnecessary cards. They only pick up the cards when there is a need to. And you still see them, they won't get red card. Ateta has done a lot for Arsenal, and hopefully Ateta does not turn the Premier League to farmers club because rival fans, how are we going to cope? I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't want to see Arsenal winning back to back to back to back to back Premier League now. So if you're still joining, I'm still very much here with you. We'll be on this live stream for 30 minutes. It won't be more than that. I won't take much of your time because we have to prepare for other games. We have to rest. The players played their games. Now they will go and rest. We fans, we've watched. We'll still go to social media and argue. We'll still go to our group chat and instant messaging platforms to argue. We'll still post pictures. We'll still watch a few videos. We also need to rest. So as the players are resting, we are resting because there is other matches coming up. There's going to be Man City, Bournemouth. There's going to be Brighton playing. There's going to be Newcastle playing, Liverpool. There are a lot of games. And there's still Fulham playing Chelsea on Monday. Though I don't like how Chelsea is playing on Monday, but what option do I have? Nothing. Nothing. As much as I'm being pushed to talk about Chelsea, but because the live stream is about Arsenal versus Coventry, so I'll keep it within the context of the match. So the only time Coventry can get a chance now to revenge is probably the second leg when Arsenal travels to Coventry. And I don't even know the features. It might be towards the end of the season. It might be in the peak of the season where Arsenal is chasing the league and they don't want to share point and everything. But then it's football and anything can happen. So I think it's time to wrap it up now. I want to thank you if you're still watching this video so far to this point. Don't forget to like this video. If you're watching it after the live stream, don't forget to like, subscribe. You can drop a comment for me. You can still share your thoughts about the match at any time, even if you are seeing this video in 10 years' time. As much as we still make reference to 2002 World Cup, 2094 World Cup, 2008, 2006 World Cup, Euro 2008, and stuff like that. Anytime you're watching this video, you can just leave me a comment. Let me know how you saw the match, your expectations. Um, yeah, and then we can just have basic interaction. Thank you so much for watching. I would be putting an end to the live stream right now, and you will see me again another time on this same channel. Thank you very much, and bye bye.